Hi everyone, this is Michelle from Lash Academy. I am going to do a video today about how to remove lash extensions using a cream remover. I get this request a lot and I've made one before, but I'm just gonna make like a better version of it and we're gonna try to shrink it shorter in one video. So I'm gonna show you what you're gonna need to do the eyelash extensions remover using a cream remover. I want to talk really quick about removers. So there's like liquid remover, there's gel remover, and there's cream remover, which is also called a clay remover. I don't recommend liquid remover at all because it could seep into people's eyes and it burns their eyes. I know a lot of people use debonder to remove lashes. Please do not do that. You could blind someone's eyes using debonder. Debonder is just strictly to remove adhesive from your tweezers. So if your tweezers has glue stuck onto your tweezers, that's what you use it for. You use debonder to take it off. Do not ever use it to remove people's extensions. It's super dangerous. People could get a chemical burn, they could go blind, so not good. About the gel remover, you can use gel remover. Gel remover has been around for forever, and that's what people use for a really long time. I don't love gel remover because it could sting or burn. It works really fast, but it burns sometimes. So the safest one to use, in my opinions, is cream remover. So it's like a clay base, and it stays where you apply them, so it doesn't run into people's eyes. And I've never had anyone that has an allergic reactions to it. Knock on wood, there are so many ingredients in the clay remover that you can't say nobody's gonna be allergic to it. But I have been using it for about 3 years and I haven't had any problem with it. So I'm gonna do a video today showing you what you're gonna need. First of all, you're just gonna need a pair of eye pads. You're gonna need a clay remover. There's many different brands carry clay remover. They're pretty similar to each other. So I have tried, we carry one on our website, lashacademy.com. I have tried remover from Sinful Lashes, they're good. I have tried remover from Lash FX. They are good also. So as long as you have a good clay cream remover, kind of looked it up and see what people recommended. I like mine, but I tried the one that's Sinful is really good also. So yeah, and they range around like $15. So you're gonna need a lip. I use lip applicator because it's just easier. I put it on and I throw it away. Don't have to worry about sanitations or anything. So lip applicator, you can use a micro swab too. Microfiber brushes. I buy these on Amazon. I got these on Amazon also. So it's pretty much just like saran wrap, but they cut in tiny little strip like this. They use it for permanent makeup, but just buy it on Amazon to wrap. My favorite tape ever, the blue tape. And that's it. That's all you need. I have my model right here. I'm gonna remove her and remove her lashes, and I'm gonna redo a new set on her today. So come with me. I'll show you how to do this. So I just took the iPad out of the pack. Cut it come like this. A really cool trick about iPad is I learned this from my very first eyelash extensions class. I take a little scissor and I cut 2 little slit right here. Yeah. Why do I cut it like this? If I didn't cut it, your iPad comes in one single solid piece like this. It's really hard to make it fit everyone's, lashes. Everyone's type of eyes. Some people's eyes is like more narrow, some people's eyes is like wider. So if you cut it into two little slit like this, of course don't cut it off. You just leave a little, about I'll say 1-2 millimeter, so that way you can stretch your iPad if you need to. If the person's eyes is more narrow, you can fold it on top and then it wouldn't make it go into people's eye. You are not forcing one solid piece of iPad to fit every single pair of eye out there because it's just not gonna happen. So yeah, this will give your iPad a little bit more flexibility. Yeah. Okay. So the first step you do is you want to tape her bottom lashes down, and always turn your light down when you tape bottom lashes. I mean, common sense, but a lot of time when I walk in, I see students would try to tape models' eyes with light super bright right by their eyes, and then people's eyes are sensitive, they start watering, and you start your appointments on like a really bad note. There's nothing worse than clients watering the whole entire time. So turn down your light, like dim it really, really low or turn it off. And I'm gonna tape her bottom lashes down. So go ahead and look up for me. Close them. You don't have to tape it super close for removal. It's not necessary. You kind of have to tape it close when you do extensions, but removal, you know, as long as her bottom lashes is covered, you're good. And open for me. Close them for me. Okay. So you see how her eyes is like a little bit wider? What I could do is I could stretch stretch the iPad piece just a little bit so then it fits her eyes better. You see how she has like the little crack right here on the iPad? If I didn't cut it, it would have been a one single solid piece and it wouldn't fit her perfect. So this would give you the ability to like adjust it, you know, fold it a little bit over, stretch it out a little bit to make it, you know, fit them perfectly. I find this really, really helpful when people tape it. It always makes me cringe when I look at the pair of iPad and you like force it to fit every single pair of eye, especially when you do Asian eye. Asian eyes is really, really hard to tape because they're a little bit more narrow, and when you fit this in, it's too big. So for Asian eye, I usually fold these a little bit over to make sure it fits. Yeah, try that trick. It's super simple, but it really, really is helpful. Okay, on to the next step. Let me turn these babies up. Lots of people ask me, why do I use too light? I'm old. That's number one. I can't see like very well for sure. So if I do one light, when I lash on the left side, I see all shadow. And it's terrible because I squint my eye. I try to like, you know, squeeze my eyes and like my eyes start watering, and you know, I don't isolate super well if I don't see good. That's just like common sense. So when you do too light, you see both sides evenly, and then your mapping is better, your shape is better, your isolating is better, and your eyes do not have to compromise. You want to be able to do this for like 10, 15, 20 years down the road. You don't want to have like a 3 years career. And your eyes and your hands, of course, are like the most important when it comes to this. So you want to make sure that you have too light. So kind of invest in that. I know the glam core lights is more expensive. I love these. These are ring light. I bought them on Amazon for like $70, and they're super bright. They work great. If you can afford two glam core, awesome. Otherwise, these work just as good. But don't do one light. One light, it doesn't give you the same light. On both sides. You see shadow is terrible for pictures. Usually too light, you get better pictures too. Okay, so on to the next step. This is a cream remover. You can see how much I use it. It's almost empty. But I take a little lip applicator, get it on here, and always close this as soon as you're done because it's clay, so it dries out really quick. Before I get started, I always cut 2 little strips. So 1 piece, 2 pieces. I cut this out ahead of time. And I just put them right here ready. So I put the cream remover on here. I get on her eyes, and I'm just gonna put it on, put a pretty generous amount. I just gotta put it on the tip right here. Okay. After I do that, I just use the little lip applicator, or sorry, micro brush, and I just brush it in here really close. It doesn't burn, so make sure that you get them on really, really close to people's eye. Try not to have it touch the skin, but again, it doesn't burn, so you can get pretty close. And you want to get it on like the root. Move it back and forth a little bit. Get it onto like the bonding point. Then I brush it up. I'm going to try to get some underneath as well. Because if your lash wrap, right, you don't just have glue on top, you have it on the bottom too and on the side. So make sure that you get, this is like your eyelash and then this is your fan. You want to make sure that you get the remover around the lashes, not just on the top or on the bottom. So just use this brush and kind of mat it in a little bit. The better you get it in here, the easier it's going to be for you to take it off. Okay, now that is done, I'm going to take this one piece of saran wrap and I'm going to put it, oops, sorry, skipping ahead of myself. I'm going to get the piece of blue tape, tear it in half because you don't need a whole big piece. I'm going to tape it on the tip of the extensions. This will help the extensions come off when you pull the whole thing out. Here, okay. Then I'm going to get the little plastic wrap and I'm going to put it on. Okay. Then I'm going to go on the other side. So, okay. After I'm done with that eye, I'm going to go on this one. Make sure you wrap the first eye first before you go onto the second one. If you don't wrap it with the saran wrap first, the plastic wrap first, and then you do this eye and then you come back and wrap them both, that side would be too dry because it's clay, so it get dry really quickly. So you definitely want to put a little plastic wrap on first before you move on to the second eye. So here I put this on. Okay. I'm gonna use the brush and brush it in. Get underneath a little bit. Okay. Voila, and you are done. So after you wrap the second eye, you would time it on your phone. You would time it about 10 minutes. And obviously it depends on the amount of glue that it has on there. So this, I'm removing a set that has just, you know, the proper amount of glue. I usually let it sit between 8 to 10 minutes. And if it has, you know, you see the set that had a tons of glue, or a set that you have to fix up and like remove the whole thing because it has just chunk of glue onto it, you may want to let it sit longer. And if it had like a obscene amount of glue that you're like, oh my god, what happened, then don't put the blue tape on because you're not going to be able to like pull it out in one try. So in that case, I would just put the remover on and then wrap it, let it sit for 10 minutes, use your tweezers and see how much you can take out with your tweezers, and then apply a second layers. Because if it has a tons of glue on there, the remover may need a couple passes to work through. Like I've seen some foreign fill that come in that I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, the whole entire bottle of glue ended up on her eyes because it was just so much. There's not a chance that any kind of remover would take it up in 10 minutes, not safely anyway. So you may need a second pass on that. But this is just to take off like a regular amount of glue. I would time it for 10 minutes. And I just set my timer on and we'll be back in 10 minutes to show you how to take it off. So it has been 10 minutes. I'm just gonna go ahead and hold. You see how I'm holding, my thumb is pinching the plastic and my index finger's holding on to the iPad. And I'm gonna pull it. Just pull it lightly. You see that? Yeah, and you could tell that I missed a couple right there. And can you please hand me a pair of tweezers? Thank you. The white pair. Thank you. You could see that I missed a couple right here. These couple probably had just a little bit more glue than usual. So I would just use a pair of straight tweezers and kind of brush through it. And then that shit comes off. I think that's only one of her extensions because these are her natural lashes. How long have you had your lashes on, Lacey?
Like in general?
Like since the very first set that you got on?
I got the very first set probably in like July.
July, so it's now what, October?
Mm-hmm.
So she's been wearing them for quite a few months, and you could see her natural lashes are still good. Like they're still perfect. Her natural lashes, I would probably say, it's like a 12 millimeter. So yeah, if extensions are being applied, properly, they don't damage your lashes at all. And you could tell that all her extensions are off. Like, can you get this? Right there. Okay. So now that all the extensions are off, you see that we still have some of the clay on her natural lashes. Don't wash them with cleanser right away because these are clay. When they come in contact with water, it tends to turn white. So, and it's hard to pick out because it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It looks like, white clay, and it's really hard to pick out one at a time. So what I do is I use two little applicator, one on the bottom, one on top, and I'm trying to work all the clays out first. You see that? Just gonna try to like squeeze all the clay out. Okay, so now all the clay is out and done. I'm gonna go through them and wash them after, and I'll show you. We're gonna make a how to cleanse lashes video, and then you can just find the link below and just see how I wash them afterwards. So I just remove the clay and then I cleanse them with antibacterial cleanser and rinse them like normal. Then you would be able to put on a set right away. You don't have to wait after removal to put on another set. You do, however, have to wait. If the client just got like a lift or a tint somewhere on the same day and they ruined it and they come to you and they ask, hey, can you fix my lashes, blah, 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 can you put a set of extensions on? You have to wait 24 to 48 hours between a lift and a tint to put extensions on. However, you don't have to wait after you remove extensions to put on another set. So I'm gonna go on the other side and I'm just gonna use two brush lip applicator and sandwich the eyelash in between and then go out like this. Okay, now that her eyelash is clean of the cream remover, I'm just gonna cleanse them like usual. That's it. So that's how you remove the set of extensions using cream remover. If you have any questions, ask us on our Lash group, Lash Queens, or our Facebook or Instagram, or you can message me on Facebook. I don't care. If you have any questions at all, I'm happy to help. Happy lashing!